Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucia and this is Lulu's Leaves.
Flying high like the birds and the bees and fill the sky with the songs and the trees.
Today I have a really exciting haul for you guys. I have kind of collected these plants over the last few weeks and I really wanted to show you guys them because I have been slacking on my plant hauls, but I thought that this would be a little bit more fun to show you guys everything all at once, so it's just a big, giant plant haul. In this video, I actually have a lot of different kinds of plants. There are going to be some Hoyas, some orchids, some Syngoniums, or a Syngonium, lots of different things though that you may not have seen on my channel before. So yeah, I'm trying to branch out a little bit and not stick to only philodendrons or only Hoyas. So yeah, I do want to get into this video guys, but before I do, I would just like to ask you guys, if you're not already subscribed, to please hit that button down below. It really does help out my channel, and if you enjoyed this video, you can give it a thumbs up. That also really helps people find this video and also my channel. And last but not least, if you would like to support me even more and you are able to, I would absolutely love it if you hit the join button down below. You can do so for as little as $1.99 Canadian per month. And I did just update the perks. So at that level, you're actually getting more perks than you used to. I believe you are now getting access to the Facebook group, you're getting access to live streams, and you're getting access to exclusive merch at a discounted price when that does come out. With that being said though guys, let's get straight into this video so I don't bore the crap out of you. Alright guys, so the first plant on my list of plants that I hauled in the last little while is this Hoya Bella Albo Marginata. I love this plant so much. I finally was able to complete my Bella collection. I now have the Louis Bois and the green version, and now the Albo Marginata. So this is it here. It's absolutely beautiful, and I love the little white pot that I got it in here. I got this one at Secret Garden. She had a few of these available and I snagged one, but there is tons of new growth happening. So I am definitely really excited about this one. I have continuously propagated my other Bellas just to make them more full, and they continue to grow so long. So I'm very excited to eventually propagate this one and create more basically offshoots. But one thing that I do really like about the Bellas is that they will create their own offshoots just on the stem. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but this one alone has two offshoots. One right here and one right here. That's a really common occurrence with Bellas. So if that's something that you are looking for, a really full and bushy, small-leaved Hoya, the Bellas are going to be your best friend. And they're definitely my favorite Hoya, hands down. So yeah, this is my Hoya Bella Albo Marginata. Next up is a Hoya that I got from Crystal Star Nurseries, Nursery, which is a nursery that is local to me. They do ship Canada-wide though, but unfortunately the last restock was their last one until next spring season, next growing season. So if you did miss out this year, don't worry, they will be back. Anyways, I got this Cinefolia, I believe that's how you pronounce it. It was rooted in moss, but whenever I get plants from Crystal Star, I always like to reroot them myself because it's very difficult to get the moss out of the roots. This was also a very long and kind of scraggly plant, so I did want to cut it up into two. It was originally kind of attached right there, and unfortunately this leaf is upside down, but sometimes that happens with Hoyas. It's possible that the plant got knocked over and it just grew towards the light, but this is her. I also got this little propagation jar while I was thrift shopping the other day. I also got this sweater thrift shopping, so. But yeah, honestly, I did prefer the look of this one in the photos, but I'm not super disappointed. I actually bought this one because I had a credit with them and I knew it was their last restock of the year, so I did want to use that credit up. But yeah, I'm not really disappointed. This was kind of the last plant left, so I just jumped on it. But it's okay. I still like it, and I'm sure I'll like it even more once it's grown. It's just freshly in this water, so there aren't any roots yet, unfortunately, but I'm sure they will root in time. I've heard they are somewhat slow rooters, which I'm not super surprised about. They are kind of a thicker, more woody Hoya, but we'll see. I have high hopes for this one. So the last of the Hoyas is one of my favorites. It's not really one of my favorites, but I'm excited about this plant because it has peduncles. I'm just praying that I don't mess this one up. Frick. Anyways, guys, here is my Hoya Keliana pink, and I'm hoping you guys can see the peduncles there if my camera will focus on them, but there are 2 peduncles there. And there's another one really low down here that I'm super, super excited about. If you guys remember, I did have this plant, although I think it may have been the yellow Keliana, so it's not really the same plant. But I did have a Keliana at one point, but I killed it, or it died a slow death on its own. I don't really know. I don't know what I did wrong. I think that it actually had root rot from being underwatered. So not mushy roots, but very, very dry roots that wouldn't absorb water anymore. So it just slowly started to wrinkle up and all of its leaves basically dropped. And yeah, it was kind of unfortunate because it was a beautiful plant at one point in time, but now I have a new one, so all is well. I'm not sure if you guys can see it there, but some of the edges of this plant are also a little bit sun stressed, which is really, really, really nice. And I'm hoping that I can keep it in some lighting that will create some more sun stressing, because these guys look very beautiful blushed. But yeah, this guy is definitely one that I'm happy to have again. So again, I got this one at Secret Garden also. The next one here is one that I'm very, very excited about. We are moving on to, I think this is the only Anthurium, so an Anthurium. But this is my Anthurium Doryaki. Doryaki? This is the plant here. It's hard for you guys to see this one because these Anthuriums grow very much upright, like flat, almost horizontal, which is pretty uncommon for Anthuriums. Usually they are quite vertical with the way that their leaves are. So that is actually one of the biggest reasons why I really, really like this plant. I think it's a beautiful plant to have on a low shelf if that's something that you're looking for. It's definitely not one that you want way up in the sky because you're just going to be looking at the bottom of the leaves. But if you do want something that you can see from above that looks very beautiful, I definitely recommend the Doryaki to you. I believe that this Anthurium is a hybrid between the crystallinum and the clarinervium. I was actually really surprised when I found this out. Maybe it's just because I have an immature version of it, but I honestly don't see the cross making something like this. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but to me it just looks like a miniature round form of the crystallinum, which is just so beautiful. They're also extra silvery, especially this one. I have seen others that aren't as silvery as this, but this one is just freaking beautiful and very, very silver blushed. Also, if you guys haven't noticed already, I have been moving all of my aeroids into these clear pots, the orchid pots. I'm really, really enjoying them, and I just get them on Amazon. I will link them down below for you guys so that you can go check them out if you want to move your plants to clear pots as well, but I definitely do recommend it. You can see when your plants are dry. You can also see when they need to be repotted. So yeah, it's just kind of a win-win if you like the look of it. But yes, I definitely love this one, and I'm so happy to have it in my collection. It is my first Anthurium hybrid, so yeah, definitely one that I'm cherishing at the moment. I'm now going to move on to the only Syngonium in this haul, and the only Syngonium in my collection actually. And it's the only one that I've really been eyeing ever, so here it is. This is my Albo Syngonium Podophylum. I am so excited to have this plant. I did get a cutting of it in a trade with plants, pots, and whatnots, but I did eventually lose that leaf. So it is in my prop box growing. So I think that eventually I will have 2 of these plants, and I'll probably end up putting them together to just make a big giant one. But this one has such beautiful variegation. Another thing I want to mention is that my wonderful mother stood in line for like 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, to get this plant for me in the cold. So thanks, Mom. I really do appreciate it. This plant is from Kim's Nature. They often do big releases on the weekends, and lots of people have to line up, and you take the chance of driving all that way and not getting a plant. So again, I really appreciate my mother standing in line to get this plant for me. She did get one for herself also, which is really nice, because I know that she was looking for one of these guys. She did also split hers with my Nana, which is so nice. So they're both gonna have a piece of that plant. And yeah, we're all gonna grow them in different conditions and kind of see how they do. But yes, this is my beautiful Albo Syngonium Podophylum with some stunning variegation. I shouldn't leave these babies out. It definitely does have 2 new leaves growing in the bottom here. So yeah, that's it for this guy. Next up, I'm going to move on to the philodendrons. There are only 2 of them. Awesome. Anyways, the first philodendron of this haul is this beautiful philodendron Burl Marks Fantasy. It's really difficult for me to show you the whole plant because it is a little bit lanky at the moment. But here is the largest leaf for you guys to take a look at. And then it has these smaller leaves, but it is definitely pushing out a leaf that is larger than these 3. So I'm happy that it's getting to size again. This plant was on my wish list video that I made just a little while ago, and I was able to get this from my dear friend Lori. Thank you. I'm so appreciative of this. Now I have this beautiful philodendron Burl Marks Fantasy that makes me so happy. So I absolutely love the veins on these plants. I think that they are just so jewel-like. I don't know if that's the right way to put it. They're not shiny, but they really do have some incredible veining that really speaks for itself. Here is one last look at the beautiful plant before we move on. Next up is a philodendron that I've actually been wanting for some time now. It's still leaking from when I watered it. This is my philodendron Silver Sword. This one is so cool. I haven't seen many around lately. I know they were a little bit more popular last year and a little bit more accessible, but I am happy to have found one. And I think it's a very beautiful one at that. So yeah, like look how beautiful those silver leaves are. They definitely are not green, they are silver. I love the bluish hue that this plant gives off. It's just another color that I can kind of add to my plant table over here. But yeah, most of my plants are green and like a normal green. So it's really nice to have some color variation, and I don't have many plants with this leaf shape either, or any plants really. So I'm very excited to have this guy finally. This one is also from Kim's Nature, and my mom also stood in line for this guy. But yeah, that is my philodendron Silver Sword in all its glory. I can't wait for this one to grow up. I'm definitely gonna get it a nice moss pole eventually, but only once the leaves start getting smaller. I think that it's probably gonna be happy just standalone for now, so we'll see. But I'm definitely going to cherish this guy as well. Last but definitely not least, we are moving on to the orchids. There are 2 of these guys, and let's just see them. Well, this guy is my first orchid in this haul. This one is also from Kim's Nature from a different time. This guy here is Osceolas spathalooffara, I think. Look how cute that is, that picture from Kim's. I believe that this is known as a snake orchid maybe, or snake skin. I don't remember if that's an actual thing, but that's kind of the way that I think of it. It's kind of like a snake plant, but it's an orchid. It has this beautiful foliage that can really only be appreciated in person and in some natural lighting. These leaves have a beautiful sheen to them. Actually, I wouldn't call it a sheen, it's pretty matte, but there's actually what looks like little flecks of glitter in the leaves, which is so, so cool. I'm hopeful that you can see some of that, but if not, I'm sure you can still appreciate how stunning the foliage is. It looks like it's painted with like a watercolor, which is so cool. And I'm very, very excited to have this orchid. I have heard that they are more difficult to come by, so I did think it would be really awesome to pick one up while I could. As I am trying to collect some more orchids, I really, really like them, and I like them for the foliage more than anything. I'm sure I'll eventually get into ones that I'm just into for the flower, but that'll be down the line when I have a little bit more space to work with. But yes, this is my Osceolas spathalooffara? I don't know. The last plant of this haul is one of my favorites. This is definitely my favorite orchid so far, although I still love my Thank God. So yes, let me get back to what I was saying. The other orchid that I still think is one of my favorites is the Gastrochilis Japonicus. I think that's how you pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this one is a very, very close second. This one is a Paphiopedilum garnet crown, which is a cross between the Wardii chocolate drop and Rothschildianum Lisa. But look how beautiful this child of mine is. It is massive. I am so, so happy to have this guy. I found it on Facebook Marketplace and it was just a really, really awesome find. This guy is a stunner. The mottled leaves are really what got me for this one. You can see just how beautiful they are here. I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna try to talk through that if you can even hear it, but yes, this is definitely one of my favorite orchids right now, and I'm sure you guys can tell why. It is just very, very stunning, and I absolutely love how large it is. It is by far my largest orchid so far. I'm really, really excited to watch this guy grow and flower over the years. I know that they don't flower often and they only flower once from this plant, but I'm hoping that that didn't already happen because I don't really know. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. That is it for this haul. I really, really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button down below and subscribe while you're at it. Also, you can join for as little as $1.99 Canadian per month, but there's definitely no pressure there. With that being said though guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!